Evolve your game and get a $100 bonus. Sign up now at TVG.com.
Dave, you're thinking 2.1, 2.2 to 1 post-time odds on California Chrome?
Well, unless you wager tomorrow at tvg.com for njbets.com or pabets.com for that 1 hour span from noon to 1 East Coast, 9 to 10 a.m. on the West Coast, and you're going to get 4 to 1 on California Chrome with that TVG odds boost.
Boost your odds, tvg.com. Head to the website for all the details. All right, Dave, well, we were expecting to be talking about Opportunity going from post position 11. It was announced this morning he will not be going to the post. Bruised left front was the diagnosis, correct?
Yeah, they're going to examine that and make sure it's nothing worse. If it's not, then hopefully they can get him into the gate for the second leg of the Triple Crown, the Preakness Stakes. So we'll begin talking about number 12 here, and that is Dance with Fate, the winner of the Toyota Bluegrass last time out under Corey Nakatani. They came barreling down the lane in Lexington to take this $1 million race and get the 100 points that goes along with it to earn him a spot into the Kentucky Derby. When they won the race, they weren't 100% sure that they would even go into the Kentucky Derby. Right. They ended up deciding that, yes, we think that he's an absolute Kentucky Derby contender. And here he is at 20 to 1 on the morning line in the Derby. On this day, he ended up going off at 6 to 1.
And he's a sharp looking big colt who is by 2 steps also. Now, that mile and an eighth effort was very good in the Toyota Bluegrass. And look, I know a lot of, well, I agree. He's very good on turf. He's very good on the synthetic. On dirt, he's run well on the dirt. And there's not as good as he has, or he hasn't been as successful as he has on those other surfaces. But Churchill Downs, the main track, plays very friendly to turf horses, so maybe that's going to help his chances here Saturday.
And I like the way that they took him so far back last time, too, because he had actually been racing somewhat close to the pace in his races prior to that. And I think in the Kentucky Derby, you're going to want to come from off the pace as hot as it's going to be on Saturday. He should get the right kind of a trip under Corey Nakatani. To me, 20 to 1 seems a little juicy on him.
Grade 1 winner, last out on a synthetic. As a 2-year-old, Grade 1 placed on the dirt. So we will see, 20 to 1 looking to be a very good price here. As we take a look at the end of an era, that was the last poly-track, or I should say the last bluegrass we're going to be seeing run over the poly-track at Keeneland, seeing as they'll be switching to dirt in time for the fall meeting this year. So as we look back, the overall record in the Derby for the bluegrass since the poly-track was installed, 1 for 26.
Yeah, it's good street sense.
Yeah.
In 2007, so that's not boding too well for his chances based on that stat. But I don't think the dirt is going to be an issue, really, with him.
Maybe make one big run from off the pace, just like he did in the bluegrass, and looking at 20 to 1 there on the morning line. Here's who I think is going to be the pace setter. Chitu will be going from post position 12, number 13, on the board at 20 to 1 on the morning line, coming off a good win in the Grade 3 Sunland Derby. We're going to take a look back here at that win where he's passed right here by Midnight Hawk, but he fights back and gets the win.
But this is a speed-favoring track, if there ever was one, is Sunland. They knew that they had to put him on the lead in this race. I don't necessarily think that he has to be on the lead. Personally, I think that he can sit a little bit and still be effective. But when you just look down on paper, yeah, it looks like he's always in front, but he's been racing on those surfaces that's where you want to be at Santa Anita and at Sunland. You want to be going wire to wire. So I think that might change a little bit of their tactics in the Kentucky Derby. Unfortunately, Bob Baffert, who had Midnight Hawk in the top 20, he had Bayern on the bubble, he had Opportunity already in the gate. It looked like he may have 3 or 4 starters in the Kentucky Derby. He's down to just this one bullet, so to speak, but he's won this race many times before as we take a look with the success that he has had in the Kentucky Derby.
3 for 23 there, and you have to go back to 2002 with War Emblem, but you can see a lot of good runner-up efforts as well, including Bodie Meister back in 2012, Pioneer of the Nile in 2009, and Baffert will be having Chitu heading to the post here on Saturday. Now we take a look here at bucking history. Kentucky Derby winners with 4 or fewer lifetime starts. And we see Big Brown there with 3. We kind of took a look at this earlier as well for Danza. And Chitu coming in with just 4 under his belt.
Yeah, he's never been past that mile and an eighth distance, as none of them have. But he held gamely in the Sunland Derby. We'll see what he does in the Kentucky Derby.